Hi. Today we can see next portion of file handling. Yesterday, day before, we have seen how to create a file, how to create a directory, how to create a file under the directory, and how to update the file name, how to change the file name, and how to delete the files, and how to delete the directory which have the files. That all we have seen. Now we can see inside a file, if you have a data, how to read the data. In today's class, we can see I created a different package, com.vk.file.read. How to read the data from a text file. If you want to read the data from the text file, we have different possible ways. That we can see one by one. So I have program 1. Inside a main method, I just have a file equal to new file of test.txt. So inside my folder, like inside my project, I don't have test.txt file. If you want to read it, we have to create a file. So I'm creating a new file. See, by default, I'm just creating now, but we can create a file by using a Java code also. But here in this program, we are seeing how to read the data from the file. Now I just have 2 lines of code inside my file, test.txt. So I created a file object. After creating a file object, first way of reading a file is we can use buffer reader. By using buffer reader constructor will take object of file reader type. See, I'm creating object to the file reader. File reader object we can create by using file object. Which file we want to go into read, that file as a constructor to the file reader object. So I created a file reader object, and file reader object we are passing to the buffer reader. So we created a buffer reader object finally. By using buffer reader, we can read the each and every line of a file. So buffer reader dot read line. We have a method to read each and every line of our text file by using read line method of buffer reader. So I have one variable string str, while string buffer reader dot read line not equal to null. So we are just printing the value. It means like each and every line it will read. If the next line is empty, if there is no buffer inside the file, so it will exit over there in while loop. Let's go on this. Now we file got readed, and it is storing into the string variable, and the variables we are printing. First string is this one, first line. Second line is this one. So if you want to create any number of lines in your text file, we can read each and every line by using buffer reader. First way of reading the file is using buffer reader. Now to understanding purpose, I'll make this very clear. File reader equal to new file reader. File reader object is taking constructor of file object. So we created a file reader. Now by using file reader object, that is we can pass to the argument to the buffer reader. Now by using file reader, we are getting the buffer reader. Now buffer reader object is created. How to read a file? First we can create a file object with the text file and create a file reader using the file object, and create the buffer reader using file reader object. These are the 3 steps we have to follow to create the buffer reader. After creating a buffer reader, now created one string. So here the logic is if buffer reader dot read line is not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, then we are printing the value. So each and every line, if you call read line method, it will read the line and it will put into the string. By using existing code, by default what they have mentioned is st equal to buffer reader dot read line. Whenever it is reading a line, whenever they are calling the read line method, it is just reading first line and putting into the string variable. After it is putting into the string variable, we can use the string variable and we can print the value, first line value. And this is a while loop. Since it is a while loop, it will read each and every line up to the read line is going to the empty. If there is no buffer in the line, it will go to the empty, then it will get the loop will get exit over there. Now if you go to the text file, for example, I have some empty lines. After empty lines, this is called buffer. Now buffer header, it will first check buffer header dot read line. First line is there, so it will give the true. Then it will print the value. Buffer header dot read line. Next line it will get. After getting the next line, if it is value is having, so it will give the value. In the next line you have empty. So buffer header dot read line, it will give the true because it is having a buffer. Buffer means inside a file. Here if you see in the left hand side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this many lines are there. This is a buffer. Even though if you do the buffer header dot read line, it will come up to the 14th line because the buffer is there up to the 14th line. I'll put high on at the 14th line. So it will read each and every line from starting to ending. After 14, there is no buffer. Here we don't have any 15th line. Then it will exit over there. So let's go and run this again. See, if we see here, we got up to the all buffer also. Each and every line we got. Even though it is having space, we got the spaces also. This is the first way of reading the file using buffer reader. Now let's go to see the next way. How to read a file in the second way? We have program 2. Inside program 2, I have main method. See how I created object to the file reader. By using file reader object, we can read the text file. This is the second way. Now previously we have seen by using buffer reader we can read the file. Here using file reader object also we can read the file. How we can see this? See, I created a file reader object directly by using the absolute path of the file. We can create object to the file reader by giving the path also. So file reader is having two constructors. First constructor will take the path of the file, and second constructor will take the file object. In a previous program 1, we have seen file reader of file. We can pass the file object also as a argument to the file reader. So I created a file reader object. After creating file reader object, I'm just taking the one integer variable int I. File reader dot read. File reader dot read method, it will give the inside a file. Each and every line is having some hash code. It is just getting the code of the file, how many bytes it is taking for the storing that string into the file. Each and every line is having some buffer size. That size is in the integer value. So by calling file reader.read value, we'll get the integer value. That integer value is a buffer size. How much size it will took for the each and every line. So here also it will read each and every line, and the value is as a type of buffer size I. The value not equal to null, not equal to -1. So it's having the some value, some data is there. If the value equal to -1, that is not having the data. I am just printing system.out.println of character of I. So it is an integer type. Let's go and run, see what is output over there. Here we got the, by using file reader also we can read the data. This is the data we have to read. File reader.read, you can see what is the description of this one. Reads a string single character. The character read or -1 if the end of the stream has been reached. See each and every line, it will read each and every character. After reading each and every character, if it is reaching to the end of the line, so it will give the -1. After it is giving -1, it will come out and it will read the next line. Like that it is reading, file reader. This is a syntax for reading the file using file reader. Now reading the file using scanner object also. This is the third way. How to read the file using scanner. We have a file equal to new file. File object is created. After creating file object, we can create scanner object using the file object. We are passing file object as an argument to the scanner, so we can read that. We got the scanner object. We have a methods inside the scanner which we use for reading the each and every line. Scanner dot hash next line. Similar to the enumeration, has more elements, next element. Has more elements and next element. Similar to that, in iterator also we have seen hash next and the next. We have two functions to read each and every line. Similar to that, in scanner also we have hash next line. In the file we have the next line is there available or not. If next line is there, we are getting the next line and we are printing the next line. By calling the next line method, we can print the line, each and every line. This is very simple. By using scanner, we can read the each and every line of a file. Now, fourth way is we can use the scanner, but without using the while loop. Here we have seen the while loop. Using while loop, we have methods scanner dot hash next and scanner dot next line. So, without using methods of a scanner, without using while loop, how to read a file using scanner object. We have scanner object. Object is created similar to that previous one by passing the file object. So scanner one dot use delimiter. If you use delimiter of /z, it will read similar to reading each and every line up to end of the file. If you use delimiter, it will be reaching the end of the line, it will go to the next line, it will read. Use delimiter method is take care of reading each and every line as it is, like what we have while loop. See now, how many ways we can read the scanner object? How many ways we can read the file using scanner object? We can read a file using scanner object first by using the hash next line method and next line method using while loop. Without using while loop, we can use delimiter by giving the /z. We can read the each and every line of a file. So we got it output, same output. Reading using scanner class. This is the one output. Reading file using the scanner without using the loop by using /z. Now in this same program we have seen three ways we can read the file. In the previous program, that is a standard way, creating file object and creating file reader and creating buffer reader and read the file. That is a way we can use for the standard way, basic way. But how to read a file using file reader? We can read a file using file reader using this one. Here it is reading each and every character, and the character is reaching to the end of the line to leave -1. So this will skip over there. Similarly, it will go up to the each and every line up to the end of the file. How to read a file using scanner? We can create a scanner object by using file object and call the hash next line method and next line method. And similarly, we can create scanner object and call use delimiter method by passing the string as a /z. That is also one more way. Now we have seen 4 ways to read a file. Now let's see next way, how to read a file in another way. We have in program 3. Now I'll go and change my file. I don't want spaces. Now inside program 3, this is a different way to read a file. Now inside program 3, I created one method, read file in list. If you just give the file name, we can take the file name. We have paths java.nio.files. This is one API which we get from the NIO file package. By using this paths class, we have get method. We can get the file. If you just give the file name, we can get the file by using paths.get. So after getting the file, here read all lines. We have files class in the same package java.nio.file. This is a different package we are seeing. Till now we have seen all java.io packages file for all file handling. Now here we are seeing java.nio package, which we use for the reading a file as a list. We have file, inside file we have a number of lines. Each and every line we have to get as a list. So how to get that? By using NIO package we can get that. So inside read file in list function, I am just passing the argument as a file name. Now I am just creating list of strings. Each and every line I am getting and storing into the list. So first list is empty. Collections.empty list. It will create empty list of string objects. So this is not list. If you go and print it, it will give the empty box. It is not having any data. So I have a try block. Because this is a whatever line of code we are putting into the try block, this is a type of checked exception type. We have to handle using the checked exception type, which is the exception occurred in case of whenever we call the files.read all method. So when we call files.read all lines method, this is a type of IO exception. So we have to handle using the try catch block or throws. So now I am handling it using the try catch block. So read all lines method of files NIO package. It will take care of reading each and every line as a string and putting into the list. List is a lines list. Inside lines list, it is each and every line is reading and putting into the list. That is a simple function. By using this function, we can read a file and put the file data into the list of strings collection object. So this is simple function. We can pass first argument to the list. Read all lines method is a file type. That file we can get is we can get by using the paths. Path.get of file name. We'll get the path of the file. And we gave the characterization, standard characterization. We have the different characters. Here we used a UTF-8. For reading the file, text files, we can use the UTF-8 format. So I'm giving this standard characterization. So we can read the file and putting it the lines of strings. At the end, we are just returning the lines. Lines is a list of strings. So how to read a file as a list? This is only one method you can call. By calling the files of read all lines method, it is reading each and every line and putting it the list of strings. This remaining code is to avoiding all compile time errors and some syntaxes. We put the all remaining code. Now inside main method, read file in list. I'm just passing the file test.txt. So after calling this method, it will go to this method. It will execute this method. First, it created a list of strings, empty array. Then it is calling this method. Whenever it is calling this method, inside this method, read all the lines method, it is just taking the path. It is reading the file. First line it will read and putting into the list. List.add of first line. List.add of second line. Up to it will go to the end of the lines. So finally, we'll get the final list. The final list we are returning. So the final list I am assigning to the list object. List L equal to read file in list of the file path. So we'll get the list. Now how to iterate the list? We have iterator. By using iterator, list.iterator, we can iterate the each and every element of a list. So we are iterating, we are printing the values. Now let's go and run this. Now if you see inside our file, we have 4 lines. All 4 lines are reading and putting in the list of strings, and whatever list we are just iterating and printing by using iterator next. So we got the output like this. Now how many ways we can read a file? We can read a file in the 5 ways. Similarly, next way in program 4, if you want to read entire file as a string, you can read entire file as a string. How to read that? Read file as a string. File name. I'm just passing a file name to the argument to the read file as a string. This is a method which I created. Static method. Public static string. It is returning a string type. So I have a string data. See every function. If function is returning anything, here we need to return the string type. So we have to take the first. We have to declare the function return value. This return value is string data equal to empty. first by default. So whenever we call new string of files dot read all bytes, this is a method which will read each and every content of a file as a bytes of array. So all the bytes it will return bytes array. By calling new string of the bytes array, it will convert the bytes into the data. The data is our string type. So at the end we are just returning the data. Data is a string type. How to convert file into the not convert? How to read the file as a string? This is similar to the previous program. Java.nio.files. This is from the NIO package. By using this package files.read all bytes, we can pass the path of the file. So by passing path of the file to the read all bytes method, it will give the bytes array. After getting the bytes array, string is taking argument of bytes array. String is taking all bytes and it is converting into the string object. So that string object we are putting into the data. Data is a result, final result. The data we are returning. So inside a main method, is just simply calling the read file as string for the file test.txt. Then we are just printing the data. Now let's go on this. See, everything it is reading as a string object. So we got the data. See, if you want to get string length, how much length is there for this string? You can get data dot length of a string. So let's go and run this. Total length of the string is 42 because it is considering all and each and every data of a file as a string type. All the characters will take. This all is a 42. Now let's see. If somebody asks how many ways you can read a file, there are many ways to read a file, but first way is using buffer reader. First create file object. By using file object we can create file reader. By using file reader we can create buffer reader. So using buffer reader we can read a file. This is the first way. Using file reader class we can read a file. Just create a file reader class and call file reader.read. It will give the characters. Each and every character it will go up to the end of the line. If it is giving -1, then go to the next line. That is a file reader. So using scanner we can read a file. Just create scanner object by using file object and call the hash next line and next line. By using that we can read a file. Using scanner object without using the loop, we can use delimiter of /z as a string. By using this we can read a file. And reading the whole file as a list, that we can use by using the java.env package files class and paths class. Similar to that, read a text file as a string. We can achieve that using the java.env package. We have seen the examples how to do that. So these many ways we can read a file. We can read a file in the 6 ways. But we can use the buffer reader because this is the easy way and the standard way we can use. If you have a requirement of reading a file, you can use buffer reader. Now we have seen how to read a file. Now we already seen how to delete a file. Let's see how to delete a file. This is also for interview. If somebody asks how to delete a file, we should be able to write a program. Now inside program 1, I just have created a file. See, inside my folder, there is no file like new file.txt. So how to check if file .exist? If the file is exist, don't do anything. I'm just printing file already exists. If the file is not exist, then create a new file, because my file is not there, so adding throws. First I am creating a file, then I will delete the file. Now let's go and run this. Now if you refresh, we will get the file, our file. Now new file.txt is created. So how to delete a file? We have a simple function, delete function, file.delete. Whenever we are calling this, we will get file already exists, then file deleted successfully. Now the file got deleted because we call the file.delete function. If it is giving true, so we are printing file delete successfully. If it is not deleting, fail to delete the file. This already we have seen. We go and refresh, whatever file we created, it will got deleted. It got deleted. This is the first way. What is the second way? Inside program 2, I have main method. We have java.nio. We have files class. If the file is exist, then only we have to delete. How to achieve that? If delete if exists, we have a function in the files nio class of files. Delete if exists. If the file is exist, then only we are deleting. Otherwise, we won't delete. So inside our code, we don't have the file.txt. So we'll see what will out over here. Deletion successful. Even though we don't have any file, it is great. Deletion successful. File.txt. Deletion successful. Let's go and refresh. We go and run this again. Deletion again, we got this one. Pass.get of file.txt. We don't have file.txt. Let's go and run this again. What is output? File is, because file is not there, so we got the false. File is not deleted. Now let's go and create a file. I'll go and I create a file. Then now file.txt is created. Now let's go and delete this file. Now we got the true because file got deleted. Now if you go and refresh, whatever file is already created, it got deleted. Now file.txt is gone. So how many ways you can delete a file? You can delete a file using the file.delete function from the java.io package. From java.nio package, we can call delete if exist. By using this, we can delete the file. These are two ways we can delete the file. See, we have a file. We have file is created, and we are reading the file. We can delete the file. We have seen all the things. But how to give permissions to the file? The file is only read only. If you want to make the file only read, we need to only read the values of the file. So we can make the file as a read only. If you want to make the file only write the data to the file, we can make it as write only. Or if you want to make the file as an executable file, so whenever you want to install a software, we can download the .exe file, that is the executable file. If you want to make the file as an executable file, we can make the file by giving the permissions. Or we can read the permissions of a file. We have the methods to read the permissions of a file. we have methods to give the permission to the file. How to do that? You can see the examples. In program 1, I have main method. This is a different package, com.vkr.file.permissions. So I just created a file 1.txt. By calling create new file, it will create the file for us in the current project folder. If file exists, if the exist equal to true, so we are just printing all permissions can execute. It will give the true or false. The file can be executable or not. Can read. The file is having read permission or not, it will tell. If it is giving true, it is having read permission. If it is giving false, it will give the, it's not having the read permission. It can write. If the file is having the write permission, it will give the true. If the file is not having the write permission, it will give the false. Can write. So if you want to check the file is executable file or not, the file is readable file or not, and the writable file or not, you can call the can read, can write, can execute. If you want to check the file is executable, readable, or writable, we can check using can access, can executable, can execute, can read, can write methods. It will give the true. The return type of this methods is true. So I just created a file. I'm just checking whether this file is executable or not. See, now the file is executable, readable, writable. So my 1.txt file, I just have now created. Go and refresh. 1.txt file is created. This file is readable, writable, executable by default whenever file is created. Now, how to change the permissions to the file? That we can see in the next program. We have set functions. By using set functions, I have a file. I'm just getting the file exists or not. File is exist because it will go true. If you want to make set executable is true, set readable is true, set writable is false. Now my file is executable and readable, not writable. We cannot write data to the file. If you want to give the permission like that, we can give like this. If you want to make our file is not readable, not writable, not executable, we can make file.set methods, set executable, set readable, set writable with the false. So we can't read the file, we can't write the file. Only we can execute the file by using this permission. Now let's go and run this. Now executable is true, readable is true, writable is false. See, if it executable is true, by default it is taking readable as a true. Now I'll make this also false. Now we can see it should give everything is false. But it's giving executable true, readable true, writable false. File permissions, even though if you are changing exists true, it is going to insert this file permissions changed. So executable true, readable true, writable false. Even though if you are changing setting executable to false and setting readable false, it is taking true only. Okay, that I will see and I will explain why it is taking. Because the file is text file, so it is taking as a true always for executable readable. That I will check and I will update. But if you want to change the file permissions, we can change by using set methods. These are the methods to change the permissions of a file. Now we have seen the permissions also. How to get the permissions, how to set the permissions. Let's go to the next program. See, if you want to move file from one directory to the another directory. See, if you want to move the file from the one folder to another folder, how to move that? Similarly, we have seen NIO package. We have files.move. Files.move, it will take two paths. First is the first path of the file, and next one is the path.get of next path, which file we are going to modify. So I have file 1.txt. Now I am going to modify the file to the 1.modify.txt. If you want to give the absolute path also, we can give absolute path. This is just a file name which is in the current path. But if you want to give C drive, some files folder from 1.txt to the C drive, new files folder. Otherwise, in the D drive files folder, this file, it will go and move there by using files.move. How to move the files from one directory to another directory? You can move by using files.move function. So now I am doing in the same class. So whatever 1.txt, it is converted into the 1.modified.txt. See, it's moved to new file. Moving to new file means it's created a new file here. What it is doing internally means it is just going to delete the file and create the new file in the different location. This is the first path, this is the second path. This is very simple. Files.move. Only handling with the file means using the classes and methods of a file java.io package, java.nio package. Now inside program 4, I have main method. I have file 1.modified.txt. I am just creating object to the file. So file.rename to. See, I want to rename this file 1.modified to the new file.txt. We can rename the file. If it is giving true, then I am just calling the delete method to delete delete that file. See, here we are doing two operations. Just renaming the file and deleting the file. Now let's go and run this and see what is output. You see, now new file is created. Now I not deleted the file. I am not deleting the file, but I want to rename from the new file to the 1.modified. Control X. By using rename method, we can achieve that. Let's go on this. We got the 1.modified file. Here we no need to delete that file. By default, it is got renamed. Here also, how many ways we can move the file from one directory to the another directory? We can achieve that using the first way is by using files.move method. We can move the file from one to the another place. And by using the rename method of rename to, this is a method which we use from the file class. Java.io file class, we have a method rename to. By using this method also, we can move the file from one location to another location. Here we can use the location, absolute location also. That will also find. From C drive, new file.txt to the D drive,